just purchased a $200,000 car using my son's credit card. Are there any complaints from the simple wife? I am so happy to have a doctor as a son. What? A car? For $200,000? Are you sure you don't mean a $2 toy car? My, you and your jealousy really has gotten to your head now. Sam went ahead and gifted me this $200,000 foreign sports car. I just went and signed it, and later on, I'll send you the pictures.
So Sam went and bought that car for you?
That's what I've been saying. All right, let me go and take a picture of it right now and send it your way.
It's true, that is definitely a luxury foreign car. But I can't imagine Sam being able to afford something like this.
Sam is a doctor, you know. Of course he can easily afford this. Or could it be that he doesn't buy you anything?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, it's simple. Since Sam doesn't love you, he doesn't buy you anything, not even a car. I mean, come on. It makes sense, right? Someone like you, such a low-class, stupid woman, is just on a completely different level from Sam. And, of course, from me as well.
Sam doesn't love me? Well, that may be true. But calling me a low-class, stupid woman, huh?
Exactly. You're a low-class, low-income, and uneducated woman. Am I wrong? You and I are fundamentally different kinds of people. It's almost generous of us to have to let a woman like you into this family.
Look, I get it. You're really proud of the car. But can we stop this already?
No, we can't stop. You see, you're seriously lacking in gratitude towards us. Your family is poor, right? You should be thankful you can even live this life thanks to us.
Thanks to you? But Sam only makes $300 a month.
Liar. You ugly woman. You've really lost your mind, haven't you? Not just your appearance, but now your head too. I guess that's what happens when you're poor. Everyone becomes a liar.
I'm telling the truth. I've kept quiet about it until now, but I've been barely supporting him this whole time. However, I'm done with that kind of life, so we'll be getting a divorce soon. After we divorce, you'll have to take care of him, so good luck with that.
Oh my goodness, you're scared. I've never seen someone so delusional. Do you need me to take you to the hospital or something? Or better yet, why not have your dear Dr. Sam take a look at you?
Hey, what on earth is this all about?
Huh? No, wait, you've got it wrong. It's not what you think.
Wrong about what? What are you even talking about?
Isn't this about the engagement ring?
What? Are you saying you sold the engagement ring?
Well, yeah, there's this guy I know who's really knowledgeable about these things. He said if I was going to sell it, now's the best time. He mentioned that prices for jewelry like that are really high right now, and there's even a chance I could get more than what I originally paid for it. So I figured, why not? I thought I could get a good price for it.
Wait a second. You sold the ring? And not just any ring, my engagement ring?
Yeah, I sold yours too, but listen, I bought that ring for you, so technically it's mine. Besides, you haven't been wearing it for a while now, so I figured you didn't need it anymore. You know, since we're getting divorced and all, I thought of it as part of the separation process, like a symbolic thing.
You've got to be kidding me. This isn't about whether I'm wearing it or not. Selling the engagement ring behind my back? That's beyond messed up.
I didn't have much of a choice, okay? I was broke. You, as my wife, should just stay quiet and understand my situation.
What the hell did you just say?
Chris came by again, pressuring me to pay up. He even said that if I don't settle things soon, you might end up getting hurt too. He was desperate. I was just trying to protect you, that's all.
Wow, aren't you clever with your words? So, let me get this straight. You sold the engagement rings to protect me?
Exactly. You know how dangerous Chris can be. I was just looking out for you.
Right, but who's the one who borrowed money from someone like Chris in the first place?
Well, I didn't really have a choice. No other lenders would give me a loan. Chris, on the other hand, doesn't care about credit scores or background checks. Sure, the interest rates are high, but at least he'll lend to anyone.
Ah, I see. So you took out a high-interest loan from a dangerous guy just to blow it all on gambling. How admirable. And yet, for some reason, your mother seems to dote on you endlessly despite this kind of behavior.
No, it's not like that. My mom doesn't dote on me exactly. She just sees me as a status symbol. To her, I'm just the son of a doctor. That's all I am to her, a way for her to show off. She doesn't really care about me as a person.
That's funny, coming from the guy who bought his mom a $200,000 luxury car.
Huh? What'd you just say?
You heard me. A $200,000 luxury car. Don't play dumb. You bought that car for her, didn't you? With your credit card. I saw how thrilled your mom was about it, and she even showed me pictures of the car. Today was the delivery day, wasn't it?
Is this some kind of prank? Think about it for a second. How would I have $200,000 to spend on a car right now? I'm drowning in debt as it is, and I can barely keep my head above water.
Then explain to me why your mother has that car. She doesn't work, so there's no way she could afford something like that on her own. Your father's inheritance is long gone, too. So where did she get the money for that car?
What the hell is going on here? Hey, Mom, I heard you bought a foreign car and that I bought it for you?
Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention it to you. You left your credit card at my place, so I went ahead and used it.
What?
That foreign car. I've always wanted it. I'm so happy I finally got my hands on it.
Wait a minute, isn't that the $200,000 car?
Of course. I thought I could just tell you later, so I didn't think it was a big deal. But it's no big deal, right? I mean, $200,000 isn't that much, is it? After all, you're a doctor.
Well, it's just that,
If I had asked you to buy it before, you would have said yes anyway, right? I know I didn't tell you beforehand, and for that I'm sorry, but it's fine, isn't it?
$200,000 is a bit much, even for me.
What do you mean? Sam, you're a doctor. You can make $200,000 in just 3 months, can't you?
3 months? I mean, yeah, I'm a doctor, but I'm still pretty new to the field. I haven't even started my own practice yet, and it's not like I'm rolling in money.
Huh? What are you even talking about? You're a doctor. Act like one. You should be proud and confident. You're my pride and joy, my brilliant son. Don't get all gloomy over a mere $200,000.
Mere $200,000. You're lucky I'm only a little gloomy about it.
I don't want my proud son texting me to complain about something as trivial as this. Just let it go, okay?
Mom!
Hey, Rachel, excuse me for a moment.
What is it?
There are some strange people hanging around my house. They're demanding to see Sam.
What? And why exactly are you telling me this?
Because they can't get in touch with Sam. What's going on with him these days? Where is he?
Who knows? Sam disappeared in the middle of the night, you know. He packed up and fled.
What did you say?
He most likely ran away to escape from his creditors. Considering the massive debt he's accumulated, especially after that additional $200,000, he looked completely desperate. There was no way out for him.
Massive debt? What are you even talking about? Don't tell me, did he take on someone else's debt? Did he take over your debt by any chance?
This is such a pain to explain. I've already told you before, he's practically unemployed. I've been the one earning the money and covering our living expenses.
That's ridiculous. There's no way that's true. Sam is my son. The idea that he's buried in debt and unemployed is simply impossible. Besides, Sam graduated from a prestigious medical school and became a doctor. How can you even suggest that he's living such a miserable life?
He quit being a doctor a long time ago. Since then, he's just been hopping between part-time jobs. He kept up the appearance of being a doctor only in front of you, his dear mother. He did indeed graduate from medical school, and that's partly true. But pretending to still be a doctor? Well, that's not as hard as it seems, especially when it comes to keeping up appearances.
No, this can't be true. There's no way my son, my Sam, would do something like that.
And what makes you so certain about that? Forgive me for saying this, but you've never really had any social or career accomplishments of your own, right?
How dare you say something like that? That's beyond rude. I'll have you know, my parents were highly successful and influential, and my late husband was the CEO of a company. And my son Sam is a doctor. He worked hard and became a respected doctor.
Sure, your parents were great, and your husband may have been a successful CEO, but what about you? What have you accomplished?
Oh, what?
I'm not talking about your family or their achievements. I'm asking about you. What have you personally done? Bragging about your family doesn't do anything to change the reality of our own life, does it?
Well,
See? You can't think of anything, can you? That's exactly why you've pinned all your hopes and dreams on Sam. You project all your ideals onto him because you don't have anything of your own.
Shut up! You don't know me or my life, so stop acting like you do.
I don't need to know much to see the obvious. It's written all over you. But the reality is, Sam quit being a doctor, threw himself into gambling, and became a full-blown failure. It's time for you to accept that.
I refuse to believe that. My Sam is a smart, talented, and a good man. He's an honest, upstanding person, and his patients all admire and respect him. He's a doctor.
Then why isn't he answering your calls? Why is he avoiding contact with his own mother?
How would I know? He's probably just asleep, that's all.
Sleeping in the middle of the day? It's a weekday after all. Shouldn't a doctor be working?
He's probably at the hospital, obviously. Maybe he's in the middle of performing surgery or something. Surgeries can take hours, you know. That's probably why he's not picking up the phone. He's probably doing one of those complex procedures, like heart surgery. Maybe one of those bypass operations or something like that. Yes, that's it. He must be in surgery right now, saving someone's life.
Is that so? Well, let's hope that's the case. Though, for the record, Sam isn't a surgeon.
Whatever. The point is, there's absolutely no truth to your absurd claims about Sam being buried in debt. You're just jealous because you're poor. You really need to stop being so envious of us and our success.
If you say so, but I think it's time I show you some proof. How about I send you the messages I exchanged with Sam? You'll see for yourself what's really going on.
No way. This is fake. That can't be real. That's not Sam.
I'm afraid you're mistaken. It is definitely Sam. This was just a few days before he ran off in the middle of the night. By that point, he was so desperate that he even pawned the engagement ring. Can you imagine? Things were that bad. And in the midst of all that, you went and bought a $200,000 luxury car with his credit card. I'm not surprised he felt like running away after that.
No way. Sam doing something like this? I can't believe it. My son, of all people, could never be that kind of person. No.
Oh, what's the matter?
The debt collectors, they're pounding on the door demanding we bring Sam out. But he's not here. They won't stop begging. Rachel, where is Sam right now?
Who knows? I certainly don't.
Enough of this. You need to bring Sam back here now. He has to take responsibility for his actions. How could he do this, dragging me into a mess like this? He's an absolute disgrace of a son.
You're really quick to abandon him, aren't you? It seems like Sam was right all along. He told me, you know. He said that you only saw him as a status symbol. I guess he was telling the truth.
What? How dare you? Or maybe you should take responsibility. After all, you're the one who let him fall so low. It's partly your fault too, isn't it?
Well, you can say whatever you want, but if you're going to start talking about responsibility, then you should acknowledge that you have some responsibility in this too.
What, me? I've done nothing but raise him the best way I could. If he decided to go down this wrong path, that's his fault, not mine. I bear no responsibility.
The fact that you can say that so calmly just proves how much you failed as a parent. But hey, why don't you hear it directly from him? I'll have him get in touch with you.
Wait, from him? You mean Sam? Yes. Contact him immediately. Why didn't you just do that from the start?
All right. Please hold on for a moment.
Mom, it's me, Sam.
Sam, what on earth is going on? Why are these people outside? Are they trying to collect something from us?
Yeah, I know they're out there. Just be careful. They can get really aggressive.
Sam, why are you talking like this is some sort of outside problem? This is your debt we're dealing with. You're the one who needs to pay it back. You can't just act like it's not your responsibility.
No, it's not just my debt. It's also your debt, Mom.
What do you mean by that?
Remember when you bought that $200,000 foreign car using my credit card? It was just a few days later that all this trouble started. You even signed the ownership documents for the car. I remember that clearly.
Yeah, I did sign it, but...
Did you actually read those documents?
I mean, I glanced at them, but...
I told you to read them carefully. I made that very clear.
Okay, but what does that matter? Why are you bringing up those documents now?
Mom, you are a co-signer on my debt. This means that if I fail to pay it back, you're also responsible for the payments.
Wait, what?
Since you went ahead and bought that $200,000 car without thinking twice, I figured you'd be okay with the idea of sharing the burden of the debt. After all, you were the one that made that purchase.
Hold on, are you saying that you tricked me into this? You deceived me?
I didn't trick you. I told you to read the documents, so it's not my fault if you chose to ignore that advice. Why didn't you read them?
Why would I read a document like that? It's ridiculous. No one reads those things. And the idea of being a co-signer, that's just absurd. I will absolutely not pay any of this debt.
Listen, I'm taking responsibility for my share of the debt, so you need to pay back the $200,000 yourself. That seems fair to me, don't you think?
No way. Why should I have to pay for your mistakes? This has nothing to do with me. I refuse to pay.
If you don't agree to this, then I will have no choice but to sue you.
Sue me? Are you serious right now?
Absolutely! I will sue you for credit card fraud. You used my card without my knowledge or consent, and that puts you in a very serious situation.
Oh my God, this can't be happening. My son, of all people, is resorting to such desperate measures.
Yes, this is your son doing what he has to do. You treated me like an accessory, like a trophy to show off. You wanted to brag about having a doctor for a son, but what's it worth if I'm just a failure now? This attitude, Mom, it reflects on both of us. We're definitely related.
Don't you dare compare me to you. I'm from an elite family. I'm wealthy and successful.
Mom, that's really pathetic. You need to stop bragging about your relatives and start focusing on your own achievements instead.
Shut up! How dare you speak to me that way?
Let's face the facts together. You need to pay back the $200,000, and I'll take care of my own debts. I'll communicate that clearly to the debt collectors, too.
$200,000? There's no way I can afford that. Please, just find some way out of this mess.
You've already exhausted Dad's inheritance. You should have thought ahead. And if you don't, this is the consequence you face. Honestly, it's not my place to say it, but someone had to tell you.
No, I can't handle $200,000 in debt. It's far too much to deal with.
Then I guess it's time to cut off contact. We'll both be better off separated.
Wait, you can't just leave me like this.
I see. So you hurried to return the car and ended up getting into a serious accident, breaking your leg in the process? Now you're looking at a month of recovery, and the car was completely totaled, rendered a total loss.
Please, help me.
Well, that's really the only way to put it, isn't it? But let's be clear, this situation is a result of your own actions. You'll have to figure out how to deal with this yourself.
Don't say something so cold. You must have enough income to support Sam, right?
I'm barely getting by. He managed to earn a measly $300 a month from his reselling side hustle, which was helpful. But my income is below average, so I can't provide you with any financial assistance.
But paying back $200,000 in debt in this state is absolutely impossible. The car is destroyed, and my assets are gone. I can't live like this. Every day the debt collectors come knocking, and my only son has vanished. How am I supposed to keep going?
It's all right. Sam will come back here soon enough.
What do you mean by that?
I contacted Sam and introduced him to Chris, the debt collector. I decided that Sam couldn't get away without facing this, and they both might get some legitimate job opportunities. So, let's work together to pay off this debt, all right?
Wait, are you saying you sold us out to the debt collector?
Well, it's a reasonable demand to ask for the money that was lent. You both signed those documents, so it's all in writing.
And jobs? They're probably some shady work, right? I don't want anything to do with that. I don't want to work.
You're not a child anymore. Haven't you enjoyed living off other people's money for long enough? Maybe it's time you learned what it's like to earn your own.
How irresponsible of you.
I hear the work can be quite physically demanding, so I hope you give it your all.
You traitor, supporting the debt collector like this.
Traitor? That's quite an accusation coming from someone like you. I don't want to hear that from a thief.
How can you call me a thief? You know that I've always provided for my family. I didn't choose the situation, it just happened. And now you turn your back on me?
Providing for your family? Is that how you see it? By buying a car worth $200,000 on someone else's credit card? You've been living in denial. How long did you think you could keep this up?
You don't understand. I had to show off. I had to maintain appearances. It's what everyone expects of me.
And look where that has landed you, on the brink of bankruptcy and facing daily harassment from debt collectors. Is it worth it? Was the status worth ruining your life over?
Maybe you don't realize this, but the pressure I faced was immense. I had to keep up the facade, and now it's all coming crashing down. Do you have any idea what's that like?
I do understand. You put yourself in this position. You're the one who prioritized appearance over reality, and now the consequences are here to stay.
Then what am I supposed to do? I can't just roll over and accept this fate. I refuse to let it end like this.
You have no choice. Accept your reality and start taking responsibility. It's time to grow up and face the music. You can't keep running away from the truth.
Grow up? Easy for you to say. You're not the one who's going to be dealing with this. You're not the one facing the debt collectors every day.
No, I'm not, but I'm here to help you face it. I may not be able to fix everything, but you'll have to take some steps yourself. Start by accepting the reality of the situation.
Accept it? How can I accept that I'm drowning in debt with no way out? Then my son has abandoned me.
Sam has not abandoned you. He's trying to navigate this mess just like you. He might need some time to figure things out, but he'll be back. In the meantime, you need to make changes.
I don't know how. What can I possibly do to make things right? It feels hopeless.
You can start by taking that job. It might not be ideal, but it's a step towards regaining control over your life. You have to fight back or you'll lose everything.
How can you be so sure that this will work? What if it all goes wrong?
Nothing in life is certain, but you have to try. You can't just sit here wallowing in self-pity while your situation worsens. It's time to act.
Fine, I'll consider it, but I'm not promising anything. I can't just throw myself into something without knowing what it entails.
That's fair. Just remember, if you don't take any action, you'll end up with nothing left. No son, no money, no dignity. Think about it. Danielle found herself trapped in a grim situation, having fallen into a veritable hell of debt that totaled an astonishing $200,000. It was a burden so immense that it must have felt like a weight pressing down on her very soul. After her discharge from the hospital, Danielle, alongside her son Sam, was sent to a workplace that had been arranged by a loan shark. This wasn't just any job. It was a grim lifeline thrown to them by someone who saw them as mere pawns in a cruel game. The workplace to which they were dispatched was a factory characterized by relentless, grueling physical labor that seemed designed to drain every ounce of energy from its workers. The air was thick with the sounds of machinery, clanging metal, and the murmurs of fellow laborers who shared in their plight. Each day, Danielle and Sam trudged through their tasks, their faces etched with expressions that reflected their deep despair and hopelessness. They were caught in a cycle that felt inescapable, working under conditions that seemed intended to break their spirits. It was a punishing environment that offered little to no respite, making it clear that they were trapped in a nightmarish reality. The nature of their work was harsh and unforgiving. They were forced to labor long hours, often in extreme conditions, pushing their bodies to the limit. As they faced this grueling routine day in and day out, one couldn't help but wonder when, or even if, they would ever be able to repay such a staggering amount of debt. It felt like an insurmountable mountain looming over them, casting a long shadow that made the prospect of financial freedom seem almost laughably distant. The thought of the looming debt felt overwhelming, and it was hard to believe that they would ever see the light at the end of the tunnel. Each passing day served as a painful reminder of their circumstances, making it clear that the path to recovery was fraught with challenges. It was a cruel twist of fate that left them both grappling with the harsh realities of their situation. Danielle, in particular, must have been consumed by thoughts of how she would ever manage to climb out of the debt pit that threatened to swallow her whole. The weight of the financial burden must have been suffocating, casting a shadow over their every waking moment. It felt as if they were living in a dark tunnel, with no visible exit, and every attempt to escape was met with a new obstacle. In the midst of this struggle, a glimmer of fortune would eventually shine upon Sam. Fast forward a few years, and Sam hit the jackpot with horse racing, an unexpected turn of events that allowed him to pay off his debts all at once. It was as if luck had finally smiled upon him after all the hardship he had endured. With this newfound financial freedom, Sam decided to leave the factory behind, breaking free from the shackles of his previous life. It must have been a surreal experience for him, going through from the depths of despair to the heights of freedom in such a short time. It's almost amusing, in a way, how some people seem to have an uncanny knack for good luck, while others, like Danielle, are left to wallow in their despair. It feels almost like fate has a sense of humor, where one person's misfortune is another windfall. Sam, who had always had a streak of bad luck, suddenly found himself on the winning side of life, while Danielle remained trapped in the depths of her despair. The disparity between their outcomes must have been a bitter pill for Danielle to swallow. While one person was celebrating newfound freedom and prosperity, Danielle was left grappling with the remnants of her shattered dreams and unrelenting debt. During this tumultuous time, Danielle reached out for help, desperately calling out for someone to stay by her side. She was scared and overwhelmed, feeling as if she was drowning in a sea of loneliness and debt. She must have felt a surge of panic and desperation as she realized the depth of her situation. However, Sam, who had been his companion through thick and thin, made the heart-wrenching decision to sever ties with Danielle. He felt it was necessary to cut off the connection, especially since Danielle was only viewed him as a status symbol, failing to acknowledge his humanity or struggles. The choice must have weighed heavily on Sam's conscience. While he achieved his freedom and newfound fortune, it came at the cost of abandoning his mother who had stood by him during difficult times. The dynamics of their relationship changed drastically, and one couldn't help but feel a sense of loss and betrayal. Sam's decision to leave Danielle behind speaks to the complexities of friendship and loyalty, especially in times of crisis. The bond they had shared now lay in ruins, torn apart by the harsh realities of life and the choices they had made. As Danielle sat in the silence of her own thoughts, one could only imagine the tumult of emotions swirling within her. What must she have felt as she grappled with the reality of being left behind? Was she angry at Sam for abandoning her? Or was she simply heartbroken? It's a painful situation that forces one to control not just their own failures, but also the failures of those around them. Danielle may have been left to fend for herself, but it was clear that the emotional scars would linger for a long time. The sense of betrayal must have been profound, leaving Danielle to ponder the true nature of friendship and loyalty. In her darkest moments, she may have questioned everything she thought she knew about the bonds they had formed. The loneliness that enveloped them must have been suffocating as she confronted the reality of her isolation. Now, as she navigates through life on her own, Danielle's feelings must be a mixed bag of anger, betrayal, and perhaps a sense of longing for the companionship she once had. The weight of loneliness must feel heavier than any financial burden she faced. It's easy to imagine her reflecting on the good times they shared, wondering if things could have been different had circumstances played out another way. Meanwhile, my own life couldn't be more different. I am currently relishing the joys of living alone, a stark contrast to Danielle's plight. The tranquility of solitude allows me to savor the freedom that comes with it. Every day, I experience the happiness of spending my hard-earned money solely for my own enjoyment and comfort. I can choose how to decorate my space, what to eat, and how to spend my time without having to consider anyone else's needs or desires. This autonomy brings me immense satisfaction. Living alone means that I have the luxury of crafting my own environment. I can surround myself with the things that bring me joy and comfort. Whether it's a cozy reading nook, a kitchen filled with my favorite snacks, or a living room decorated to reflect my personal style. Every detail is a reflection of my choices. The independence I enjoy is liberating, allowing me to create a space that feels uniquely mine. There's a profound joy in knowing that I am responsible for my own happiness and that I can curate my life to reflect my personal taste and interest. Whether it's indulging in a hobby, treating myself to a nice meal, or simply enjoying the peace and quiet of my home, every moment is a testament to my independence. I can choose to spend my evenings curled up with a good book, binge watching a favorite show, or pursuing creative projects without interruptions. Each day feels like a new opportunity to explore and enjoy life on my terms, free from the chaos that often accompanies shared living situations. Of course, I understand that living alone can come with its own set of challenges. There are moments of loneliness and times when I wish I had someone to share experiences with. However, these feelings are fleeting, and they don't overshadow the overall joy I feel in my day-to-day life. I am grateful for the ability to focus on myself and grow as an individual without the distractions or responsibilities that come with living with others. The freedom to make choices that align with my desires is a source of immense happiness. In contrast to Danielle's situation, where financial worries loom large and relationships have soured, my life is characterized by a sense of fulfillment and contentment. I can take pleasure in the little things, a warm cup of coffee in the morning, a good book, or a quiet evening spent watching my favorite shows. Each day feels like a chance to embrace life's simple pleasures and cultivate a sense of joy. The ability to enjoy my own company has enriched my life in ways I never expected. In reflecting on both Danielle's plight and my own, it becomes clear that life can take many different paths. While Danielle is ensnared in a web of debt and betrayal, I am reveling in the freedom of solitude. The contrast between our experiences highlights the unpredictable nature of life and the different outcomes that can result from the choices we make and the circumstances we find ourselves in. It's a reminder that life's journey is rarely straightforward, and the paths we choose can lead us to vastly different destinations. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.